Hey everyone, it's Tash, aka the Thick Nutritionist, and today we're going to be diving deep into Noom and why it is a diet. I always say to my best friend, Noom is a diet with a wig on, okay? Because just because you have a different disguise does not mean you are not the same person. If you're not familiar with Noom, Noom is a mobile-based weight loss and wellness program that promises that you will be healthy and happy without dieting. They know that people are starting to catch on to their tricks and people are moving away from all the short-term weight loss solutions. My first problem with Noom is the fact that it categorizes food red, yellow, and green. We all know traffic lights, so I'm guessing you can just guess what that system means. And they make it seem like it's a good thing for you to be keeping track of every single thing that you eat and to categorize it this way. But the reality is that diets also require you to track everything that you eat. And when you do that, it can become really obsessive. I have personally experienced this before. When I was really deep into dieting, I was so strict on myself. I would count every single calorie. There were days that I would go to bed hungry. I would have sleep for supper, sis, okay? It was not fun, but I thought that I was doing it all for health, so I did it. But the reality is that if you are obsessing over your calories and tracking to that extent, it is not healthy for you and you are in fact dieting. Even if it's not an official program like Noom or Weight Watchers or whatever, if you have that mental restriction, it still counts as a diet. My second problem with Noom is the fact that they do focus on intentional weight loss as the goal. And the reality is that our bodies are so complex and weight loss is not as simple as calories in, calories out. We could literally all eat the same exact foods and move our bodies the same way and we would still look so different. And when you're doing a program like this, even if you're eating foods that are really healthy for you, some people will lose weight, some people will gain weight, or some people will maintain their weight. But the problem is that when you're solely focusing on weight loss, it's really discouraging when you don't see those results on the scale. Even if you are making better choices for yourself, it ends up feeling like it's all in vain because you're not losing weight, because that is the primary goal. So I really encourage moving away from that because that's what diets focus on, intentional weight loss. And if you have not heard me talk about this before, 95% of people that diet will regain all the weight that they lost within 5 years. And I can personally tell you that this is true. There was a point in my life where I was so obsessed with the goal of losing 50 pounds. I restricted my intake so heavily and I thought I did great because I did lose that weight. But guess what happened? I then gained 100 pounds on top of that. And that's a whole other story. So sis, please take me seriously when I'm telling you that you will gain weight if you continue down this dieting track. And the worst part about it is that the more you go down this cycle, the harder it is to get out. And also, each time you lose weight, your natural baseline weight goes up little by little. And each time you lose that weight, you lose muscle. So it is very tricky to go down this path. My third and final problem with Noom is the fact that you have to subscribe to it. There are so many costs associated with this program, and that should be a really huge red flag because that is what every single diet program advises you to do. They tell you that you can reach whatever the goal is as long as you do everything the way that they say and you buy their diet products. And you know, you might experience some short-term weight loss from that. You might have some success, but the reality is that it's not going to be sustainable for the rest of your life unless you choose to stick with Noom forever or whatever the diet is. So I just want to bring all of this up, not to judge you, but to let you know what the reality is behind programs like Noom that tell you that they are not a diet. It is simply a lie. And if you do really want to pursue health, I completely support you. There's nothing wrong with having health goals at all. And it's okay to take those little steps and changes to get to a behavior that feels better for you. At the end of the day, being healthy is not supposed to be something that is tedious and a burden or something that really stresses you out. It's supposed to feel easy, it's supposed to flow, and it's supposed to be sustainable. That's when you know that you're on the right track. And that's why I'm always talking about intuitive eating. When you follow intuitive eating, it is free because it's basically just getting back to how things would be in your body and in your mindset if diets didn't exist. This whole diet culture thing is new. Our ancestors never had to deal with all of the stuff that we're dealing with today when it comes to dieting and not eating food that is literally available to us. With intuitive eating, you do get to learn about nutrition, and all of that definitely counts, but you get to do it from a gentle standpoint where you actually have self-compassion for yourself, and it's not a pass or fail thing. You learn how to make better choices for yourself without feeling guilty when you make decisions that are less than perfect, because you have an understanding that all foods can fit into a healthy diet, and you don't have a hierarchy in your mind of good and bad foods. So this makes you able to actually create a healthy relationship with food. If you're ready to learn more about intuitive eating, check out my website, thethicknutritionist.com, and follow me on Instagram at thethicknutritionist. I'm here to help you find food freedom, break out of the dieting cycle, love your body, and find movement that brings you joy, sis. Understand the fact that you can be happy and healthy without ever having to focus on the scale. Take it from me. I have been practicing this for the last 6 years now, and it has been a life changer. I'm in a space where I'm confident about what I eat and about the way I move my body, and I look in the mirror and I don't hate myself. Why? Because I have completely ditched all of those programs like Weight Watchers, MyFitnessPal, and Noom. So if you are currently on Noom or you're thinking about it, sis, I really urge you to refocus all of your energy and your time and even your money and resources towards a different approach to health that is more sustainable for you, that will feel good, and that you can carry on with for the rest of your life.